Hello and welcome on the Gaithersburg Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, and the scoreboard lights up 8-5 as this is a resumption game from June 26th, 6 days ago, last Thursday. The Gaithersburg Giants put up a 5 spot in the top of the 6th inning, which caused a light ordinance and noise ordinance curfew to come into effect. That put things on pause for now. So 3 innings left to go in this one. It's 8-5 Gaithersburg, and Olney is the home team in their bright yellow jerseys. And we'll get everything started here. Let's go over the substitutions as this game happened 6 days ago. Lots can change, and it starts with the substitutions. For the away team in Game 1 here, because these two teams will face off again for 9 innings at 7 p.m. But for here in Game 1, it'll be Colin Hughes leading off, taking over for Jacob Bunch behind the plate. Bunch appeared in the first half of this game. He went 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. However, he got injured the very next day and since has not seen action. He's currently day-to-day. So Colin Hughes is back from his weekend touring schools and will lead off things for Gaithersburg. Then Nate Houghton-Henley will take over in right field for Joey Nicholson. Nicholson had a 2-run home run blast in the top of the 4th inning in Olney that put Gaithersburg up 3-2 before the Cropdusters would respond with one of their own in the bottom of the 4th. Meanwhile, for the guys in yellow, it's Coy Swanson taking off the leadoff spot from Andrew Kell. Kell was 1 for 3 in that game with a leadoff double where he came around to score back in the first inning in Olney. Then Luke Keefe will take over at second base, the sophomore from UMD, taking over for Aiden Fry, the junior from Delaware. Fry had reached base all 3 times, 2 walks and an RBI double in that one, but had a couple errors in the field, which allowed Gaithersburg to answer back. And then the final substitution for Adam Leader's squad will be Rowan Klein at first base, the sophomore from Utah, taking over for Austin Stalker, who was 0 for 3. And then on the mound, Matt Chamonix, the senior from Millersville, will try and get through the last 3 innings of this one. Once again, 8-5 the score as it's the top of the 7th inning, and we'll get underway here in Gaithersburg. Resumption game. First pitch to Hughes, misses outside, and it's 1-0 to Colin Hughes. To Hughes. Holds on that one, called strike 1 on the outside part of the plate. Colin Hughes with a new bat, it appears, a bright pink handle, and then black barrel, seeing if he can put that to use here to start things off in the top of the 7th. 1-1. Hits this one hard and foul right towards his own bullpen, leaving the bat at 97 early on the 78-mile-an-hour pitch from Chamonix. One-two to Hughes. Leaves that one low, evens the count at 2-2. Even count now from Matt Chamonix. Delivers now. Left low by Hughes, and the catcher there, Tyler Cook, was ready to throw it around, but now a full count from Chamonix. Strike 3 called on the outside. Colin Hughes gets the call to make it a full count, but leaves that one outside. Missed where Colin Hughes missed where that one was going to be placed. It was in the same spot as called strike 1. And that'll bring up Bryce Rudisil. First pitch to Rudisil, called strike 1. Rudisil 1 for 3 in this game previously. That one misses low, and it's 1-1 to Bryce Rudisil. 1-1, 1 out now from Chamonix. Left low again, 2-1. Chamonix has tried to attack the lower part of the zone, hasn't found great success there. Found 2 strike calls on the outside to lefty Colin Hughes. This one chopped foul. Another low pitch from Chamonix, likely would have been ball 3, but Rudisil hitting that one foul. It's now 2-2 with 1 away here in the top of the 7th. This one fouled up into the netting. Rudisil will stay alive. Two from Chamonix. Count is full now to Bryce Rudisil. Full count pitch again. Tipped foul by Rudisil. He stays alive. Same put away pitch from Chamonix on the mound, trying to locate that outside part of the plate on the lefties. First to Colin Hughes, now to Bryce Rudisil. Full count remains. Busted bat popped up and caught by Chamonix himself. Broken in 2, 81 right on the neck of the bat, and Rudisil is retired. That brings up Magnus Krieger. Krieger grounded into a fielder's choice back in the 2nd inning, and then reached on an error by the catcher, where he then came around to score. Then had a double in his last at-bat previously in this game. First pitch to Krieger, inside. Two quick outs for Chamonix on the mound. 1-0. Popped up. Ranging over Kiefer, who is added into this lineup at second, and he makes the grab in the shallow right field grass for out number 3. So it took nearly a week to get to the top of the 7th, but Matt Chamonix goes 3 up, 3 down, and we head to the bottom of the 7th here from Criswell Automotive Field. The Cropdusters will have the bats next. Thank you. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. It'll be Alex Cromwell on the mound now, making his 8th appearance of the season. 8 1/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, and 8 walks, 11 strikeouts. Taking over for Aiden Carey, who got through the last 1 2/3 innings previously in Olney. Meanwhile, Nick Carls started this game going 4 1/3. 3 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 4 walks to 4 strikeouts. That brings up Zakai Hawkins, another Utah Ute in this lineup. First pitch to Hawkins. Misses outside. Hawkins 0 for 2, reached on an error. That one left low and outside. 2-0 from Cromwell. Called strike on the inside part of the plate. 2-1 now to Zakai Hawkins. That one left inside, just missed high. 3-1 now the count. Here in the bottom of the 7th. 3-1. Left outside, and Hawkins is aboard via a walk, That brings up Tyler Cook, who had a sacrifice hit in the first inning of this one to drive in a run, and then went 0 for 2 after that with a pop out to second baseman Michael Contigliano and a strikeout to Aiden Carey. First pitch from Cromwell now, left low. (1-0) Hawkins on first. Chopped foul. That one is 86 on the outside part of the plate. Cromwell has been really one of the most solid guys out of this Giants bullpen. Really consistent from him. 1-1. This one hit hard, lined right to Rudisill, who now throws across the diamond. Throw gets over Orr, and Hawkins will take second base anyway. Seen that play a bunch of times now. Rudisill tried for... And now Rudisill not covering third. Hawkins will take third. So time not called by anyone. And Hawkins takes third after that. Throwing error from Rudisill. Tried to get the double play to Orr on the line out. And then no one paying attention. First pitch gets away from Hughes, but not far enough for Hawkins to swipe home. So Cook lined out to Orr for the first, Rudisill for the first out of the inning. Now it's Luke Keefe. Chops this one, dribbler. There's not going to be a play at the plate. Throw to first. In time. Run scores. It's now 8-6. So it wasn't a purposeful sacrifice hit, but it does drive in a run for Luke Keefe. Hawkins with some heads-up base running. First pitch misses outside to Jaden Knight. Knight 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts and a walk in this game. 1-0. Chopped foul. Where's that bright gold helmet, as he's the rising sophomore from Notre Dame. Doesn't really go well with the bright yellow or gold uniforms the Cropdusters have. 1-1. This one put on the ground, ranging over. Maxey gets it in his glove, but no option to throw. And Knight now stands on first with an infield single. That brings up Rone Klein in for Austin Stalker. Klein pops this one up. Ranging over to make the grab is Brady Powell from left. And that ends the bottom of the 7th. 6 days after it could have been played. And we head to the 8th inning. The Cropdusters are able to chip away at their 3-run deficit. It's now 8-6. And the Giants can get some more insurance runs when we come back on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis as we enter the top of the 8th inning here at Criswell Automotive Field, not First Responder Field for the Cropdusters. And I guess that's why Tyler Cook missed his throwdown just before Michael Cantiliano now steps up to bat. Cantiliano with 2 RBIs in this game. Grounded into a fielder's choice where he reached and then advanced on a pass ball. However, an RBI single and then a sacrifice for an RBI his last time up. First pitch to Cantiliano called strike 1. Oh, 1 to Cantiliano. Grounds this one over. Cromartie fields it and throws on over after the double clutch for out 1. And that brings up Nate Houghton-Henley, who took over the spot for Joey Nicholson. Nicholson previously had a 2-run home run in this game. First pitch misses inside to Henley. Henley doesn't have a runner on base to try and replicate a 2-run home run, but pops this one up into the netting. It's now 1-1. 1-1, 1 out. Pitch from Matt Shamani. Fouled off again by Henley. Late on the 78. Not sure if it was just a late decision to swing by Henley or whether he thought it could get slower than 78. 1-2 from Shamani. Left low. Called ball 2. 88. Just missing low. Below the knees of Henley. Even 2-2 count for the future Terrapin. Rolls it over down the line. Going to be a sprint to first. There will be no throw from Cromartie. And Henley is aboard with an infield single. That brings up Ryan Maxey. 0 for 2 in this game. Walked his last time up in this game, that is. Now Henley standing on first. First pitch to Maxey, left outside. Shamani trying to attack that outside like he did on all the previous lefties of Hughes and Rudisil. 1-0. Maxey pops this one up down the third base line and out of play. '86. Pretty much middle low in the zone. 1-1 to Ryan Maxey. This one hit hard into right center field. Can it get in the gap? Yes, it can. Henley is on his way to third, makes its way to the fence. Henley is going to be held at third, and no throw from the relay. And so a double from Ryan Maxey puts 2 runners in scoring position for the top of the order and Brady Powell. Boy, did Maxey need that. Has had a tough last few days after he had that RBI triple in Bethesda the day after this game originally took place. First pitch skips in, 1-0. As I mentioned, Maxey batting just 133 in the last 7 days, but a really nice hard hit double into the right center field gap. 1-0 popped up by Powell and into the netting. Henley standing on third now. Maxey on second. 1-1 to Powell. Pitch from Shamani. This one hit hard into left field, and that one goes foul. 95 off the bat. Pulled that baseball just a little too far foul. Now 1-2 the count to the always aggressive but somehow always patient Brady Powell. Now back against the wall in this at-bat. 2 runners in scoring position. Got a great piece of the last baseball he saw. Let's see what he can do here and keep it fair. 1-2. Fouls it off. Lives to see another pitch. That was 88 on the outside up for Powell. One, two again. This one hit right back up the middle. And a line out right to Shamani's glove will put the second out on the board. So you can score that one as L1, rare sight in the scorebook. Line out right into the glove of Matt Shamani. Would have at least scored Houghton Henley, and had it made its way into center field, would have scored Maxey. First pitch to Ruiz Weiss, check swing, but called strike one. 0-1 to the Yale Bulldog. 1 for 3 in this game with 2 strikeouts. Swing and a miss there from Weiss. A really important opportunity for Gaithersburg to get some insurance runs. 0-2, 2 outs, 2 runners in scoring position. Ruiz Weiss watches this one bounce in and over. Henley is going to go home. Slides in. He's safe. Maxey takes third. And Nate Houghton Henley restores the 3-run lead for Gaithersburg. 9-6 now the score, and a 10th run in Maxey on third base. That pitch ramped up and over our broadcast camera that you can see on your feed. May have even knocked it off, as it appears the camera angle is off. I'll fix that now for you. So you can see Maxey at third, but swing and a miss there from Ruiz Weiss, will end this top of the 8th inning. And we'll go to the bottom of the 8th as Nate Houghton Henley came home on that wild pitch to restore the 3-run lead for Gaithersburg. It's now 9-6 here from Criswell Automotive Field. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis. As Nate Houghton Henley came around on a wild pitch in the top of the eighth to make it 9-6 Gaithersburg. Now Brian Scott looks to be the first to answer for Olney. First pitch to Scott missed upstairs. Now 1-0. Alex Cromwell back out on the mound for the Giants. 1-0 misses in the same spot pretty much as pitch one, and now Colin Hughes will go have a talk to Cromwell. Scott 1 for 2 in this game with a single and a reach on error, as a soccer ball somehow made its way from the soccer field all the way into the Gaithersburg dugout. And now that'll go get taken care of. Punted back onto, I believe that's Cade Hentz, who just rejoined Gaithersburg, that is, punting that soccer ball. 2-0. Fouled back into the netting, 2-1. Hence a returner to this Giants squad. Been waiting for his return, and now it is upon us. We'll see if he enters in the game, the second game that is. 2-1 misses upstairs, 3-1. Cropdusters down 3. That one hits Scott on the hands. That does not feel good, especially since it was going to be ball 4 anyway. Scott appears to be okay. Hit actually his back arm, his right arm that is, for the righty batter. As he keeps checking on it, he heads down to first base. That brings up R.J. Cromartie. First pitch to Cromartie inside to him. So it doesn't matter if it's righty or lefty. Cromwell still pitching inside on the batters. 1-0 to Cromartie. That one misses outside. Hughes able to keep that one in his glove. 2-0. Scott and Orr on first having a little friendly chatter about that hit by pitch. 2-0. Misses outside now. 3-0. Count, needs to get in the zone, and it does break back over the plate. 3-1 now. Brian Scott on first. 3-1. Chopped off the foot of Cromartie, so full count, and Scott will have to stay on first. Cromwell looking for his first punch out of this appearance. Can he get it here? Full count, no outs. Scott on first. No, he cannot, as it misses 75 on the outside. Now 2 runners on for Olney. And no outs for the top of the order in Coy Swanson, making his first at-bat of this game. Pitching coach Vinny Capoza will go have a word with Cromwell. Swanson takes over for Andrew Kell. Kell, as I mentioned, led off with a double and then would ground out to the pitcher, walk, and then pop out to the catcher Jacob Bunch in this game, who was replaced by Colin Hughes. So Coy Swanson's first at-bat for the sophomore from Gaston College, the junior college that Joey Nicholson called home for the spring. So those two teammates, as well as Ethan McNally, called Gaston College home last spring, that is spring 2024, before he transferred to Clarion. Hope to see McNally back in the lineup. I believe he's on vacation. Zach White was the only healthy and available catcher this past weekend. Jacob Bunch with an injury, and then Colin Hughes on college visits. Scoring the bunt, pulling it back is Swanson, and it's 1-0. Some action in the Gaithersburg bullpen. Trying not to use too many arms. It was only 3 innings to get through. 1-0. Called strike one. Nicely placed by Cromwell. Brian Scott on second. R.J. Cromartie on first. 1-1 to Coy Swanson. Hit on the ground to Orr. Thought about the double play to second, but elect to just get the 1 out at first. So 2 runners in scoring position. Swanson able to move them over. Now there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th for Cade Walter. 2 for 3 in this game. 2 singles and a stolen base. He represents the tying run. Pitch misses outside, 1-0. From Cromwell, lofted into left field, ranging back, and off the fence. 1 run scores, Cromartie around third, 2 run scores, and a stand-up double for Cade Walter. Makes this a 1-run ball game. Was pretty much perfectly placed in the gap. 1-hopped the outfield fence. Off the bat at 98, went 337. And now it's 9-8 with the tying run in scoring position. That brings up Zakai Hawkins, who scored last inning after walking this one. Grounded over to Maxey, ranges over, able to get it off his body. And now runners on the corners after Maxey couldn't come up with that one cleanly. Really tough play for Maxey to make. Scored an infield single to Zakai Hawkins. Double play ball in order with Hawkins on first. However, tying run now 90 feet away in Cade Walter. Brings up Tyler Cook, who lined out to Bryce Rudisil last inning. This one fouled, right back off one of the posts of the fence. Loud ding. Cromwell tossing that ball aside. That line out to Rudisil is what allowed Hawkins, who's now on first, to reach second base. And then Hawkins, with heads-up base running, caught the Giants napping. Hawkins takes off now, and it goes off the bat of Cook as he tried to get out of the way of the pitch. How low can you go, Tyler Cook? And not low enough, and dropping the bat. So a foul ball brings this to an 0-2 count, and Hawkins goes back to first. I've done that before. In fact, it was put into fair territory when I did it in youth baseball. 0-2. Strike 3 called on Tyler Cook. And he's in disbelief after one of the most unlucky things that can happen to you as a batter then leads to a called strike 3 on the following pitch. Now 2 outs, and that'll bring up Luke Keefe. Keefe with the RBI sacrifice hit. Hawkins takes off. This one grounded to Rudisil. Fields it cleanly, throws across a little high, and it does get over the head of Orr. It's a tie game now coming around to take the lead. And in there for the 10th run of this game. And that is 10-9 Cropdusters. A 3-run lead gone in a flash. 4 in the bottom of the 8th as Zakai Hawkins comes around to take the lead for Olney. Their first lead in this game since we started the top of the 6th inning. And another throwing error for Bryce Rudisil at third. Tipped back by Jaden Knight. Each team now with 4 errors apiece in this game. 0-1. Called ball inside. As I mentioned, the previous second baseman, Aiden Fry, for the Cropdusters had a couple errors himself in the previous night between these two teams. 1-1, called strike 2. One, two. Grounded over to Quintiliano, who fields it and flips it over to Orr for out number 3. A script completely flipped here in Gaithersburg. We started the top of the 7th. It was a 3-run Giants lead, and it stayed that way after the top of the 8th, but a 4 spot from the Cropdusters in the bottom of the 8th has made it 10-9 only in Gaithersburg. Due up for Gaithersburg, Danny Orr, Colin Hughes, and Bryce Rudisil. And they'll have 3 outs to get 1 and keep this game going. A resumed game from June 26th, but we'll step away here on July 2nd on the Giants Broadcast Network. Welcome back on the Giants Broadcast Network. I'm David Lewis, and now we enter the top of the 9th inning, a game that the Giants were hoping would be a pretty assured win. Now have to plate 1 to keep it going. First pitch to Danny Orr, inside, 1-0. One-0 to Orr. This one hit hard into center field, coming in and making the grab is Scott. Brian Scott, an amazing play in center field as Danny Orr feels robbed. Scott sprinted in on that one, then fully laid out, kept the ball in his glove, snow-coned it, and then clutched it again to secure out number 1. That brings up Colin Hughes. First pitch to Hughes called ball outside. One out. Tipped back into the glove of Cook. Now 1-1. This one hit hard into left field. That's down for a base hit, so an opposite field knock. And now Colin Hughes represents the tying run in this game. That brings up Bryce Rudisil. And now a pinch runner will come in. Freddie Diaz, number 27, coming in for Colin Hughes. And so if this game does get to the bottom of the ninth, it looks like Zach White is suiting up to take over behind the plate where Colin Hughes was. Now Diaz on first. Stays put for now, called strike one to Rudisil. So now Diaz on first base as a pinch runner. Pickoff attempt, tag not applied in time. 0-1 to Rudisil. Diaz takes off. This one lofted into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. So a little hit and run action and back-to-back opposite field knocks for the two lefties of Colin Hughes and Bryce Rudisil. And now the tying run is in scoring position. Go-ahead run represented by Rudisil. It's a little odd being the away team here in Gaithersburg. They'll bring up Magnus Krieger. First pitch to Krieger called strike one. Well-placed single could score Diaz from second. 0-1. Swing and a miss by Krieger. Now 0-2. Pitch was 82. Would have just clipped the outside part of the zone on the TrackMan zone, that is. 0-2. One out. Diaz on second. Rudisil now on first. Pitch to Krieger. Swing and a miss. They say tipped back into the glove of Cook, but either way, it's a strikeout of Magnus Krieger. And the Giants down to their final out. It's Michael Cantiliano. Shamani delivers. Outside had Diaz dancing around. Everyone telling Shamani to step off. Wonder if Diaz would have put his head down had the leg kick of Shamani gone up. Now 1-0. Diaz still dancing around the eyes of Shamani. Delivers. This one chopped on the ground, and it will go foul. Everyone will have to return back to their base. 1-1. Cantiliano probably hoping that one eventually made its way over the line, as Gaithersburg now down to their final out here of this resumed game one. 1-1 to Michael Cantiliano. Left outside, 2-1. Huge spot here for Cantiliano. Can he come through? Already has 2 RBIs in this game. A third would tie it back up at 10. 2-1. Diaz still dancing around. Swing and a miss by Cantiliano. 2-2. Gaithersburg down to their final strike. Trying not to let this win slip away. 2-2. Left upstairs, full count to Cantiliano. Runners will be going on the pitch. Full count, 2 outs, top of the ninth. Gaithersburg down by 1. Pitch from Shamani. Swing and a miss from Cantiliano. And that ends this resumed game from June 26th. Olney comes back in the bottom of the 8th with 4 runs. And that will do it here for this resumed game. Getting word now that the originally scheduled game will start at 6:15. So I'm going to end the stream in just a moment and then I'll restart the stream for the originally scheduled game just before first pitch. So another win eludes Gaithersburg. They had a 3-run lead heading into the 7th inning. And you go back to Ryan Maxey being stranded on third, the big difference in this game. And the Cropdusters, with that comeback mentality, thought they may have been cheated the first night between these two teams, as anyone can tell you if you go back to that live stream. Got very active between the crowd, the coaches, and the umpires, but cool, calm, and collected now is Adam Leader and his squad as they take this game 10-9, the final. I'm David Lewis, and I'll be stepping away for now, but I hope you'll join me in around about 30 minutes as Gaithersburg will become the home team here, and we hope to see a Giants win after that. 133% of a baseball game, and TJ Brockway is looking for his guys to give 133% here in the second game. Once again, I'm David Lewis, signing off from Criswell Automotive Field on the Giants Broadcast Network.